For the first few minutes the animals could hardly believe in their good fortune. Their first act was to gallop in a bloody right round the boundaries of the farm, as though to make quite sure that no human was hiding anywhere upon it. And then they raced back to the farm building to wipe out the last traces of Joan's hated reign. The harness room at the end of the stables were broken open. The bits, the nose rings, the dog chains, the cruel knives with which Mr. Jones had been used to castrate the pigs and lambs were all flung into the well. The reins, the halters, the blinkers, the degrading nose bags were thrown into the rubbish fire with all the burning of the yard. So were the whips. All the animals capered with joy when they saw the whips going up in flames. Snowball also threw into the fire the ribbons which horses' manes and tails had usually been decorated on market days. Ribbons, he said, should be considered as clothes, which are the marks of human beings. All animals should go naked. When Boxer heard this, he fetched the small straw hat which he wore in the summer to keep the flies off of his ears, and flung it into the fire with the rest. In a very little while the animals had destroyed everything that reminded them of Mr. Jones. Napoleon then led back to the store shed and served out double ration of corn to everybody, the 2 biscuits for the dog, and then sung Beast of England from end to end 7 times running, and after that they settled down for the night and slept as they had never slept before. But they woke at dawn as usual, and suddenly, remembering the glorious thing that happened, they all raced to the pasture together. A little way down the pasture was a knoll that commanded a view of most of the farm. The animals rushed to the top of it and gazed round in the clear morning light. Yes, it was theirs. Everything they could see was theirs. In the ecstasy of thought that gamboled round and round, they hurried themselves into the air in great leaps of excitement. They rolled in the dew. They cropped mouthfuls of sweet summer grass. They kicked up clods of black earth and snuffed its rich scent. Then they made a tower of inspection of the whole farm, and surveyed the speechless admiration the plough-land, the hayfield, the orchard, the pool, the spinnery. It was as though they had never seen these things before, and even now they could hardly believe it was all their own. Then they filed back to the farm building and halted in silence outside the door of the farmhouse. That was theirs too, but they were frightened to go inside. After a moment, however, Snowball and Napoleon butted the door open with their shoulders, and the animals entered in a single file, walking with the utmost care, fear of disturbing anything. They tiptoed from room to room, afraid to speak above a whisper, and gazing with a kind of awe at the unbelievable luxury, at the beds, their feather mattresses, their looking-glass, the horsehair sofa, the Brussels carpet, the lithograph of Queen Victoria over the drawing-room mantelpiece. They were just coming down the stairs when Molly was discovered to be missing. Going back, the others found that she had remained behind in the best bedroom. She had taken a piece of blue ribbon from Mrs. Jones' dressing-table and was holding it against her shoulder and admiring herself in the glass in a very foolish manner. The others reproached her sharply and then went outside. Some hams, hanging in the kitchen, were taken out for burial, and the barrel of beer in the scullery was stove in with a kick with Boxer's hoofs. Otherwise, nothing in the house would touch. Unanimous resolution was passed on that spot. The farmhouse should be preserved as a museum. All were agreed that no animals should ever live there. The animals had their breakfast, and then Snowball and Napoleon called them together again. "Comrades," said Snowball, "it is 6:30, and we have a long day before us. Today we begin the hay harvest, but there is another matter which we must attend to first." The pigs now revealed that during the past 3 months they had taught themselves to read and write from an old spelling book which had belonged to Mr. Jones' children, and which had been thrown in the rubbish heap. Napoleon sent 4 pots of barrel of white paint, and led the way down to the 5-barrel gate that gave to the main road. Then Snowball, for it was Snowball who was best at writing, took a brush between his 2 knuckles and his trotter, painted out Manor Farm from the top bar of the gate, and its place painted Animal Farm. This was to be the name of the farm from now onwards. After this they went back to the farm building, where Snowball and Napoleon sent for a ladder which caused to be set against the end of the big barn. They explained that by studies of the past 3 months the pigs had succeeded in reducing the principles of animalism into 7 commandments. These 7 commandments would now be inscribed on the wall. They would form an unalterable law by which all the animals in the animal farm must live forever after. With some difficulty, for it was not easy for a pig to balance himself on a ladder, Snowball climbed up and set to work, with Squealer a few rungs below him holding the paint pot. The commandments were written on the tarred wall in the great white letters that could be read 30 yards away. They ran thus: the 7 commandments. 1. Whatever goes upon 2 legs is an enemy. 2. Whatever goes upon 4 legs and has wings is a friend. 3. No animal shall wear clothes. 4. No animal shall sleep in a bed. 5. No animal shall drink alcohol. 6. No animal shall kill any other animal. 7. All animals are equal. It was very neatly written, except for friend was written friend, and one of the S's was the wrong way around. The spelling was correct all the way through. Snowball read it aloud for the benefit of the others. All the animals nodded in complete agreement, and clever ones at this began to learn the commandments by heart. "Now, comrades," said Snowball, throwing down his paintbrush, "to the hayfield. Let us make the point of honor to get the harvest more quickly than Jones and his men could do." But at that moment the 3 cows, who had seemed uneasy for some time, set up a loud lowing. They had not been milked for 24 hours, and the others were almost bursting. After a little thought, the pigs sent for buckets and milked the cows fairly successful, their trotters being well adapted to the task. Soon there were 5 buckets of frothing, creamy milk, which the animals looked with considerable interest. "What is going to happen to all that milk?" said someone. "Jones used to sometimes mix some of it in our mash," said one of the hens. "Never mind the milk, comrades," cried Napoleon, placing himself in front of the buckets. "That will be attended to. The harvest is more important. Comrade Snowball will lead the way. I shall follow in a few moments. Forward, comrades. The hay is waiting." So the animals trooped down to the hayfield to begin the harvest, and when they came back to the evening, it was noticed that the milk had disappeared.